We have the pleasure of Kevin Kisslinger joining us today again and talking about best practices with the golf swing. And it is definitely the off season, although we're shooting this today in 70 degrees and there's probably going to be people playing on courses today, but it's the off season. Now is when you improve your game.
Absolutely.
So to recap, we've been talking about perfect foot position. We've been talking about working with a strength coach, developing your own program, but improving your strength and power, which will give you the potential to hit the ball further and more accurately. And today we're going to kind of bring it all together and talk about the sequencing and the joints. So give me your take on this.
Yeah, again, we did, it all starts with a stable backswing, right? That's going to allow you to put force on the downswing. We talked last video about being able to push laterally and vertically. And those things happen at the very beginning of the downswing. So as we transition, that's when we have our lateral and that's when we have our vertical. And then that sort of stops, and then really the rotational force takes over. And that's a lot of mobility. It's still strength to be able to turn, still screwing into that ground. And it's coordination, mobility. And so we push forward and down, and then that's really when our whole body will start to rotate. And when done properly, you can really generate a lot of whipping with that.
And when we look at developing strength and power in the gym, we don't often, honestly, the truth of the matter is there is not a lot of sports specificity that happens in a gym. We train people, the big dirty secret is that sports specific training is not that relevant. So we're just looking to give you the potential, give you more strength and power, and then the specificity comes from working with your expert of choice for whatever field you're trying to produce athleticism in. So I like to look at 6 major joints of the body, being the ankles, your knees, your hips, your lumbar region wrapping around, your thoracic region wrapping around, and your shoulder girdle. And the way they line up is you need to have mobile ankles, stable knees, mobile hips, stable lumbar spine, mobile thoracic cavity, and stable shoulders. When those dominoes all have proper length tension relationships and they're moving really well, that's where you can coil and uncoil and get that whip and that power. But if if one of those joints is stuck, it is not optimal, you're going to rob range of motion up or down the chain. And how many times do you see new or potentially aging golfers that have been pushing a bad movement pattern that have bad knees and a bad back because their hips are tight?
Right.
Because let's be honest, the majority of us are desk jockeys. We're sitting and we're losing mobility here, and your body's going to rob range of motion. It's going to rob it from your lumbar spine, or it's going to rob it from your knees.
Right. Yeah, not too many things we're doing in daily life where we're rotating and twisting. So,
right.
And once you get into a bad pattern, it breaks, like Pete's saying, and it's really hard to create any rotational force with it.
Yeah, and it's the cumulative stress and strain on those bodies that. So get strong, put it all together,
hit the ball far.
Hit the ball far. Thanks.